Hey guys, my name is Jessica and welcome to my channel. It has been a lot of years since I last posted. Just things got crazy. Life got sad. You know how it goes sometimes. You just need to take a break. Well, I am back and today I am working through a lot of apples that need to get processed. Alright, and if you guys enjoy my videos, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button and like and subscribe so you can see more videos. Let's get going. So here are just some of the apples that I got from my grandmother's trees. I have to finish processing these and then I will probably go get some more. This pile right here, I'm going to try and make some applesauce. I will have a link below because I made applesauce last year. So if you guys want to know how to do that, I'll have that link below. And then I want to make some apple pies with the rest of the apples and some apple pie filling and a bunch of other appley goodness. So I am just going to start with this pile here and get my apples cooking for my applesauce. So I'm just going to cut them up, take out any bad spots, and stick them in my pot. Okay, here is what we got going on. I have two of these apple things because one year I couldn't find it. And they are the Apple Master, the vacuum base. I have Dalton working through the apples, and he is slicing and peeling for apple crisp and apple pies. Faith is over here just peeling the apples and putting them in the bucket. Then we have Hope over here who's taking Faith's apples and using the corer to chunk them up so I can can them. I decided that I am going to take some of Dalton's and do 2 drying racks so that way we can make some caramel apple cookies because they require dried apples. So I'm just going to get these filled up and get the drying going. There's the 2 trays. Now I'm just going to set them until they're dehydrated. While I am was processing these apples for the canned jars, Dalton is breaking apart his stack and taking out any bad spots, and then he's filling up pie pans for some apple crisp that's going to go in the freezer. Okay, if you can see, the apples are heated up and they got kind of some bubbles. So what I'm going to do is pack them into hot sterilized jars, and then I'm just going to add some more. Then I'm going to pack hot water or boiling water around them. I don't do the sugar syrup, I just do regular water. And then I'm going to process them in a boiling water bath canner. Okay, now here I'm mixing up the topping for my apple crisp. I will have a link below on more details and the recipe if you guys want that. I'm making about 3 apple crisps that I'm going to freeze. And since I already got my bowl dirty, I am going to make some peach fruit crisp as well to freeze. So that way we have a bunch of crisp in the freezer so it's easier to cook. So I'm just going to get this mixed and I'm going to top the apple crisp. Okay, Katie is mixing up another batch for on top of the peaches here. Alright, I am going to be starting to make the topping for my apple pies. It's very similar to the apple crisp, but I'm going to start with a pound of butter, which is what this is. And it's not quite room softened, so I'm just going to stick it in for a little bit. I do not want it extremely melted, but I want it a lot more softened so I can mix it up. Okay, as you can see, it is nice and soft and gooey. So to this, I am going to add 2 cups of oatmeal, 2 cups of brown sugar, and 2 cups of flour.
I look at you and it's easy to see you are that someone I've been trying to meet. I got your number, won't you pick up the phone? Don't leave me hanging.
And then all I'm going to do is mix it up, and then I'll set it aside, and I'll start working on my pie crusts. Now what I did was when I had sliced them, I put them in the pie pan just so I know a rough estimate of how many pie crusts to make. And I'm going to be making 4 Dutch apple pie crust. Dutch apple. So that means that's why it's got the topping. And then I got my first pie crust in the pan. I dumped the apples that were in this bowl another bowl that I use to storage. And to the apples, I am going to add 2 tablespoons of flour, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1 cup of sugar. And then I'm just going to mix it up.
I got your number, won't you pick up the phone? Don't leave me hanging on the dial tone. Think back to the night that we met. Jumping in the pool, talk to you, dripping wet. Nervous when I speak, so I trip on my tongue. Never thinking you would be my number one.
And then I'm just going to dump it back into my pie pan. And the stuff that didn't get incorporated, I'm just going to add it into there. Kind of work it around. Okay, now that it's settled down a little bit, now I will crimp and cut my edge. But I didn't want to do it until after I had the apples in there, because otherwise it might have been too short. Now, if you can see, my crumbling mixture is a little bit too wet. That's because I had to melt the butter in the microwave. So what I did to counteract that was I'm trying to do is I added half a cup of oatmeal, half a cup of brown sugar, and half a cup of flour. And I'm going to stir it up and make sure it gets more crumbly and less wet. Okay, and as you can see, it's still too wet and sticky. So I'm going to add another half a cup of each of those. Okay, it is drier, a lot drier. I actually took a bunch off my hands when the first couple times it was sticking in my hands, and it's not. So I'm just going to call it good and start topping the pies with it. Alright, there is my first pie. Now I'm going to repeat that for the rest of the pies. And then I'm just going to leave you guys for now, and then I will come back later and I will show you. Alright, it was about 24 hours, and if you can see, they snapped. That's how you know they're done. So I'm just going to put these in a glass jar until I'm ready to use them. Okay, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Bear in mind, remember, I haven't done this in a year, so it's going to be a little rough for a while. So I hope you guys have a good day, and God bless, and I will see you again next week for some more cooking adventure. Goodbye.